Welcome back. So most schools in our area are back in session, and that means early wake-up calls, hours of learning, and big appetites for our kids. So how can we be sure our children are getting everything they need out of their lunches while at school? Joining us today is registered dietitian with Nationwide Children's Hospital, Kelly Layton. Thanks for being here today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So yes, mom here of a third grader, and packing lunches is one of my least favorite things to do. I'm not going to lie, but we do kind of have a system where we try to have a balanced lunch. But what should a kid have that's balanced and nutritious, but they're also going to eat?
Right. So we want to make sure for a balanced lunch, what that means is including something from each food group to the best of our ability. We want to try to have a protein, a grain or a starch, a fruit, a vegetable, a dairy product of some kind. And part of what can help kids want to eat their lunch is if they have some choice within those groups. So maybe give a couple options within each food group for them to pick from. And then we want to make sure as well that they have for a drink either water, milk, or something sugar-free, and then maybe something for fun too. Like a
they
little
can
treat.
have a little bit of fun?
Yeah.
If it means they're going to eat the rest of it, hopefully. and when we talk about that little something that's fun, are we talking about like chips or cookies, or does it matter?
Yeah. Honoring your kids' preferences for what they like to eat, while also still including some nutritious things, can be a way to help make packing lunches and food experiences just more positive.
Yeah. Do you think it might be easier to have them help you make the lunch? Like, for instance, like as you mentioned, choices like this or this or.
Yeah, that plays a huge role in kids being interested in eating their food or trying new things. If they felt like they have some choice and they help to prepare whatever was packed for lunch. And you can do that at all ages, even really little kids. They can do little things like help to arrange the food in their lunch or wash fruits or vegetables, or even if it's something simple.
Okay. When you mentioned protein, I imagine that is a big piece of it to make sure that they stay full, or you know that sort of thing. What are good examples of proteins for a lunchbox?
So some high protein foods in general are typically going to be meats, fish, eggs, nuts, beans, dairy products. So some kid-friendly options within those might be something like if you're doing whole grain crackers with cheese, yogurt or a Greek yogurt. You could do hard-boiled eggs. You could do either a sandwich or some whole grain crackers with some deli meat, things like that. If your kiddo's not huge on meat, you can also do more plant-based options like peanut butter. It's a good protein source.
Okay, some good options there. How about snacks? Because in the case with my daughter, her lunch is late. It's like 1:30 in the afternoon, so they do a snack early. But other kids, they come home from school and they're ravenous.
Right.
They want to tear into that snack cabinet. What are some good ideas for some good snacks?
For snacks, I like to encourage pairing a high protein food with a high fiber food.
Okay.
That combo, both protein and fiber, slow our digestion, so that's going to help keep them full the best. So some examples of that might be whole grain crackers for your fiber with peanut butter for your protein, or you could do fruit for your fiber over yogurt for your protein. Apples or celery or bananas sliced up with peanut butter is a good choice as well.
Celery, ants on a log, huh?
Yeah.
Can we
it's a
bring
good
that
one.
back? Let's bring back ants on a log. I like that. We've got picky eaters out there too, so I imagine then involving them in the process is a way to help combat that.
Yeah, so involve them in the process, give them some choice. You don't have to be super broad and say, what do you want to eat? Sometimes that's difficult for them
Oreos
to...
and Cheetos? Or no?
Right, yeah. So maybe give them options, right? So like, okay, we need a fruit in our lunch. Do we want to do an apple, a banana, or some grapes? So give them options, but limited ones. If you can include a combination of familiar things that you know they like with less familiar things, that can help. It can create anxiety if everything on the plate or everything in the lunchbox is new. So you want to introduce new things one at a time, and use familiar flavors where you can. So again, like if they're a fan of peanut butter, try the celery with peanut butter, something like that.
Don't throw all kinds of wacky things out at them at one time. It's the easier way in. But lastly, though, how can nutrition impact a kid's focus and their ability to learn during the school day?
Yeah, it plays a huge role in kids' ability to learn and also not be distracted at school, right? So if we're hungry or we're hangry,
Yeah,
you know, we got
I
a
know
headache, we're lightheaded, we're dizzy, you know, we're not hydrated well, it's just gonna be a lot harder to focus. And making sure we have good, consistent nutrition is also important for things too, like making sure we get enough vitamins and minerals, right? If you're low in vitamin D or low in iron, those are common deficiencies in kids. That can make you really tired and make it hard to focus as well.
Yeah. So if you notice maybe your kiddo's being a little sluggish or they got a headache when they come home from school, maybe check in on that lunch and those snacks and see where tweaking might help alleviate some of that. All right, good advice today. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Yeah.